Nocturnal Animals is the second film directed by Tom Ford, American fashion designer and filmmaker. His first movie, A Single Man, was very well received and put Ford in a very high place as a director. His fashion knowledge and taste proved to be very well adapted to the screen. Amy Adams plays an art gallery owner who could perfectly be a cliché of the boss bitch with dark monochrome clothes and dark makeup, and this is used strongly in the story of the character, as well as being styled so much to perfection that it just works perfectly. Her ex-husband sends her a manuscript of his last novel. As far as we know, is his only novel, that it's not only dedicated to her, but is titled as well for her, since he used to call her a nocturnal animal. Before she even starts to read it, we get some glances or peeks into her life that shows us how unhappy she is with her second husband. We get introduced to the other side of the movie when she starts to read the novel. The protagonist of this story is played by Jake Gyllenhaal, who later we learn is the writer and Susan's ex-husband, Edward. The protagonist with his wife and daughter start a journey that never gets to their final destination. They find themselves in a remote road at night without service and no one passing through, being harassed by a group of men in another car. This group of men manages to ride them off the road, get them out of their car, and finally kidnap both wife and daughter in a thrilling and very upsetting scene that moves you to your core. The protagonist is left there on the side of the road with one of the men and the car the group was driving before. After driving to an even more remote location, the guy makes the protagonist leave the car and just leaves him there. Later, he returns with the leader of the group to look for him, but the protagonist chooses to hide. The day after, he manages to find a nearby town and contact the police to tell them what happened that night. A detective, played wonderfully by Michael Shannon, is assigned to the case, and together they retrace the steps the protagonist made to hopefully find his wife and daughter. They find their bodies not too far away from where he was left in the middle of nowhere. From here, the movie starts on its path of exploring masculinity itself on the story of the book side, as well as an introspective journey for Susan, our protagonist, on the real world to find her meaning and happiness and, in a way, just herself. Following small steps and flashbacks in the movie, we find out how Edward used to think that Susan found him weak, and that seemed to be a big part of why their marriage didn't work. The novel seems to be Edward's direct response to that weakness, and how weakness is so not associated with masculinity, how he wasn't strong enough to protect his family, to save them, so he will need to be strong enough to make all the men that hurt them pay for what they did. By the end of the novel, we can see the simple message of how being strong just doesn't work, and even in strength, after completing his mission, he is still weak, and there's no winning for him. For Susan, reading the novel, it seems just what she needed. She agrees to have dinner with her ex-husband to discuss the book and just see him again. She takes her mask off, wearing color for one, and a clean and simple look, no dark makeup, no rings, just her being herself. Now that we get to the end on this restaurant, we see her wait all night for a man that doesn't show up, and she seems hurt by it, but there's definitely something more. But the film leaves us with this open ending. Was Edward not strong enough to face her after so many years apart? Was he planning to never go and leave her alone, to make her feel the pain he once felt? And can we even guess the answer to this? If we think about it, we never go to see the real Edward. We get to see what it seems that he wants to be, being the protagonist of the book. We see him via Susan's eyes when they were young and happy and together, but we don't even know this person. Edward seems to be, for me, more than anything, just a tool for us to think about our strength or weaknesses. Are we weak? Is that okay? And just realize what we are through him.